Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Monday Mindful Moment. I'm Dr. Angie Anderson, and as always, I'm super happy to be here with you yet again for another fabulous week. So if you have been joining us each and every week, you know by now that I have been bringing to you this wonderful, fabulous book called 52 Ways to Live a Kick-Ass Life. It is wonderful. It is amazing. And if you have not had a chance to check it out, I would highly encourage you to do so because it's an easy read and it is a lot of takeaways that many of us need to hear these messages that come across loud and clear in this book. Andrea Owen is a very raw, real author, and I highly love her messages because it sounds like sometimes she's speaking right to me, but also it seems like sometimes she is talking to clients or friends that I have in my life that I can share these messages to. So because I'm so powerful, so passionate about this book, that I have decided to take each and every week to go along her chapters with you. So if you've not had a chance to check out other Mindful Monday moments, I would highly encourage you to go back and check those out. We do post live each and every week, and we then turn it around to a recording to place on our website, and you can follow along with that at www.serenitycounselingcenterva. So make sure you go and check out some of the past ones that we've had there before. So today we are talking about taking inventory of your non-negotiables. This is so important because as a counselor, I say you have to face it to replace it, and you have to name it to claim it. So if you do not know what your non-negotiables are, then it's going to be very hard for you to set that boundary with other people in your life. And sometimes that is necessary. So let's talk about it. What I've been doing is going through and giving you Andrea Owen's words to encourage you to practice these habits in your life. In turn, helps you to be a little bit more mindful and to be able to live that kick-ass life that we so long to live. So I'm going to go ahead and read with you, so stay with me and let me know if you have any questions or any feedback. I'm always happy to hear that you're out there listening, so please do not hesitate to give me a message or a comment. It does keep me motivated in bringing these messages to you. So non-negotiables are the tangible things that when you don't have them in your life, you feel lost, unbalanced, unfulfilled, and unhappy. And I would add to that resentful, because we tend to feel like a doormat. So if you don't have that awareness on your non-negotiables, then you are going to feel like people are taking advantage of you. So I would add to that resentful. These things are sacred to you in big ways or small. Getting clear about who you are and what makes you your best self is why we're all here. And if you are your best self, other people understand that you honor yourself, and they are more likely to honor you as well. So here's what I want to encourage you to remember when you're taking inventory of your non-negotiables. Andrea Owen says, 1, you know what makes you happy. 2, you do what makes you happy. 3, other people in your life see this and do the same for you. Number 4, other people have more respect for you and your life. And then 5, the world is a better place. So you've probably been running around taking care of everyone else for so long, you just don't know yet. So it's important for you to take this opportunity, and I as a counselor would encourage you to pull out a journal or a piece of paper and take some time to reflect on these 3 questions. Just some time to think deeply about them when you have time to do it. So you can pause and rewind if you need to, if you're watching this not live, and then go back and watch it as much as you need to in order to gather these 3 questions. But I do want to encourage you to write them down and answer them as brutally and as honestly as you possibly can. So the first question is, what do you do that makes you feel most alive? The most like you? And then secondly, what, when missing, makes you simply not feel good? And then lastly, when you can't do something you had planned and you feel angry or irritated by the interruption, what were you doing? Think about those 3 questions. Take some time. This is going to help you then identify what some of your non-negotiables are. I would then encourage you to go through and reflect on what exactly are your non-negotiables. Write them down, and then keep in mind that you can't rely on other people. This is about you. What are your non-negotiables? Write them down and make sure they should only be about you. It's not selfish. It's not self-absorbed to make those non-negotiables a priority. Then identify what are your top 3 non-negotiables. 3 of the non-negotiables that need to happen in your life on a regular basis. It's a choice. Choose to commit to your top non-negotiables. Put energy, intention, and effort into those non-negotiables. These sometimes change over time, maybe even change every week. It doesn't matter or make them any less important if they do change. The key here is to make them happen. So identify them, list them, be aware of them, create that awareness, and then put your energy and effort and intentions into setting those non-negotiables in place for you to create healthy boundaries. The last thing that I would add to that is that a lot of times when we feel like our boundaries and our non-negotiables are not being accepted or embraced, we tend to become very, very defensive, and we either shut down or we lash out. And so both of those things are going to create more isolation for ourselves. So I like to say, when you are setting a boundary or an intention for yourself, a non-negotiable, try to look at that as being a little bit more like a trellis. So if you don't know what a trellis is one of those flexible, flimsy board things that kind of like go XXXX all over the place to kind of support flowers and bushes, and maybe like I have my rose bush against a trellis, and that kind of guides and leads them. It creates support, but it's flexible. It's something that can be moved if I need it to move. It's something that allows light to come through so you have growth. So when you're setting your boundaries, be more like a trellis. Be less like a brick wall. And what do we do when the first time we get offended by something, or if we get defensive about something? We become that impenetrable brick wall. And what happens when we set that as our boundary, we either isolate or lash out or deny access of ourselves to others that may be needing us in that moment. With that brick wall is that we tend to not let light in. It does not promote growth. It is a barrier that does not support that healthy growth in our lives. So when you're setting your non-negotiables and your boundaries, make sure you are also recognizing what you can be more flexible in, so you become less of that impenetrable brick wall and more of that lovely trellis. So you have growth, your relationships, and your life is nourished and cherished. So while I support what this message about the non-negotiables are, because if you don't claim it, you're not going, if you don't name it, you're not going to be able to claim it. So make sure you're paying attention to that. So, but I would also caution you not to make those non-negotiables as a brick wall. It will only sabotage what kind of relationships and life you want to live. So be mindful of that as well. If you have any questions or comments or feedback, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I do absolutely love hearing from you. I love when you tell me you hear a message and you got something out of it, because it does guide me and lead me into knowing that my work is doing something for someone out there. So before I leave you, if you like these Monday Mindful Moments, I would encourage you to check out our podcast, Serenity, Wellness, and More. You can also find those on our website at www.serenitycounselingcenterva.com. All of these Monday Mindful Moments are there, as well as all of our podcast episodes. And we just hit a year. Hallelujah. So thank you for listening to our podcast. If you haven't checked it out, I would highly encourage you to. You can go through and list all the ones that you want to listen to. Some of them may apply to you and some of them may not. We try to have a little bit of a diversity out there. But if you already have some of these other platforms, you can easily find Serenity, Wellness, and More on there as well. We're on Podbean, Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Audible, and iHeartRadio and Pandora. But if all else fails, you don't want to download another app on your phone and you're not normally a podcast person, you can always go to our website and listen to those at your leisure. You can do it while you're driving down the road, while you're doing your laundry, while you're organizing something. So some of the messages are really important and they may be more applicable for you. So I would highly encourage you to check those out. We are always looking for sponsors because we need to stay alive. So if you have a small business or you are an individual that supports our work that we're trying to do through the podcast, we would love for you to sponsor an episode. It's very affordable and you are supporting small businesses. So please think about that. Encourage you to check us out. Shannon Wickline does some wonderful advertisements for your business and he loves doing that. So please consider sponsoring one of our episodes in the future. Please don't hesitate to reach out. Shannon just put down the website on there so you can also go directly to that and send us a message if you're interested in sponsoring one of the episodes. Not necessary because your listening helps us continue to grow, so you can do that for free. So please, please, please consider that and continue to just join us each and every week. We love you. We appreciate you. We hope you're staying well. And as always, namaste. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.